Part of me thinks that the spy is gonna be Kabuto. Jesus Christ. Dude, it is. I would get the fuck out of here at this point. Oh, he's coming out hot. Dude, what? Yeah, let's go, dude. Cool. Say hello, Oosh. Look who we got here today. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like it. And yet he'll stay. He's such a chill ass cat, man. Y'all gotta look. We gotta see your green eyes, so you should take a look. Look at the camera. He's so patient, man. I've never met a cat like this who, I mean, even though he does, you can tell he's like wiggling a little bit. He's still just chilling here. Still just right here. What a dude. What a dude. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Today we're going to be getting into Shippuden episodes 39 and 40. Hope y'all having a good week. It's I'm recording this Memorial Day weekend, and I am so freaking excited to have a 3-day weekend. It's been quite a hectic week for me. Y'all know at this point that my life is just crazy, or maybe I'm just not built for it. Maybe I just get overwhelmed too easily. That could probably be it. I'm sure there's people whose lives are way more chaotic than mine, but they're handling it better than I do. But we got some Shippuden today, which always will help kind of rebalance me, man. Rebalance me. Oh, buddy. So cute. Anyways, let's go ahead and recap the character range from last time. We gave MVP to Yamato, or Tomato, as I would call him. Just for his like wood style and how cool that is. Still very intrigued on like how he can use that jutsu technique. Based off of everything we know, only the first Hokage could use that, right? So it seems to be a rare one, but man, it's a cool technique. Like the way he just captured Naruto's shadow clone, really cool. Like you can tell how useful it would be to just kind of disable or trap people. And we saw that a little bit with the third Hokage versus Orochimaru and the first and second Hokage, when like he put them in that like wood prison and captured him a few times. It was definitely a pretty cool ninjutsu technique. For the best moment, not really a best moment, but more so just around like size, character, depth, just kind of having an interesting and more depthful character than we've had in a bit here, a little bit less straightforward in the way that he interacts with the rest of the characters, and even just compared to like normal people in the world, he's definitely more like that like sociopath tendency, probably from something the Foundation did. You can kind of just tell his backstory is probably pretty fucked. And then for the funniest moment, we also gave that to Sai. Dude, Sai's kind of been killing, I'm not gonna lie. I hate him, but also am like intrigued by him, and also think he's kind of funny at the same time. Mostly hate, but for example, the funny part was when Naruto said that painting's nothing special, and he's like, "Yep, just like your equipment." He's good at throwing some zingers back. And then for the Sacco Award, or the worst award, we also gave that to Sai, just for him being Sai, dude. He's a real big cack. I'm not gonna lie, he's a piece of shit. He's just, you can tell he doesn't have any feelings or connections. He can just disconnect from it and just be kind of an asshole. But yeah, I think with that being said, we can go ahead and get in these episodes. If y'all enjoy these, consider dropping a like, subscribing, help the channel out. I would appreciate it. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Couldn't avoid that one, y'all. Although it's pretty obvious they're gonna be at Tenchi Bridge. Ooh. Can you like scout with it? Oh, that's kind of cool. They can all come back into the painting.
天地橋周辺に人の気配はない。暁の待ち伏せという線は消えたか。それでは予定通り行動しよう。お、ナルト、すまないがこれを持って僕の方へ向けてくれないか。よしいいぞ。こっちに向けてくれ。木遁変化。
Wood style transformation. Does that have like different like advantages to it from a regular transformation?
うまくいったか。はい。どこから見てもサソリの傀儡、ヒルコそのものです。では声の調子を合わせておきたい。いいところでストップをかけてくれ。
What the heck? Oh?
それそんなことそれじゃあこれより作戦に入るからね。口調が丁寧すぎます。もっとこう乱暴っていうかぶっきらぼうっていうか。人を待つのも待たせるのも嫌いな。
There you go. There you go.
では今から作戦に入るぞ。では相手も警戒しているはず。ここからは別行動だ。だがチームワーク厳守だ。特になると合図前に飛び出すんじゃねえぞ。
Here we go. This kind of stuff would stress me out so much if like I was in this universe like trying to like fake bean somebody. I would be so stressed, man. I'd crumble under the pressure. Part of me thinks that the spy is gonna be oh, what's his face? Why am I forgetting his name right now? Oh, my brain. Kabuto. Jesus Christ.
ここならいい。そろそろ正午。まだかよ。
Spy jerk. The real story would be losing his shit right now. Keep him waiting.
あいつか。
No, wait. We already saw this. Why are they giving it to me twice? This is a big long bridge. It's taking a little minute here. Man, those bells are iconic at this point already. I still remember hearing those bells in from Itachi and Kisame back in OG Naruto. It's just a classic for the Akatsuki at this point. Same.
お久しぶりです、サソリ様。こいつは
Dude, it is. It's Kabuto, man. Wow, okay. Interesting. I feel like this explains a lot.
調子はどうだ。サソリ様の術が解け、自分が何者であるかを思い出した時に奇妙な気分が残ってて。
Dude, so 5 years?
まだ少し頭が重いです。またあいつか。まさか暁のスパイがカブトだったなんて。
Me?
すみません。時間がありませんから手短にお願いします。オロチマルの目を盗んでここまで来るのは命がけですから。アジトの場所と内葉サスケについての情報をくれ。アジトはいくつもあって居場所がバレぬよう一周単位で各所を転々と移動しています。それはもちろん音隠れの里以外の他国にもあってオロチマルのスパイが入り込んで手引きしています。ただ移動手段もまちまちでそう簡単には。今は北の湖の小島のアジトに潜伏していて、あと3日で移動します。そこに内葉サスケもいます。
Oh man. Yeah, no shit. Y'all are way too far away to hear that.
だからこそ逆に私たちもここまで近寄れるんじゃない。音も匂いも風が飛ばしてくれるから気づかれないのよ。
Yeah, that's a good point. The smell especially.
ところで
Yeah, he's on guard.
なんだ野ウサギか
Oh my god, dude. That creepy ass look, man. He's back, baby. Wow. This is hype getting him already, dude.
ところでサソリ様より命ぜられていた例の件ですが
今のうちに聞き出しておきたいことがもう少しあったが、これ以上会話を続けるとボロが出る。
オロチマルは転生後も使い捨てた遺体の細胞標本に術でプロテクトをかけていて、その細胞データを解析することは僕にはできませんでした。
何してんだってばよ。さっさと捕らえりゃいいじゃねえか。
相手はあの兜よ。慎重すぎるくらいでちょうどいいのよ。もし取り逃がしてもしたらおしまいでしょ。
あまり慎重になりすぎて怪しまれたら拘束するタイミングを失うよ。
Yeah.
それは
It's a bounce to it.
ヤマト隊長を信じるしかないわ。
ではすぐにでも例のものを渡してください。
The item?
あなたとこうしていることがバレたら僕は殺されてしまう。
分かった。限界だな。もうここら辺でやるしかない。
面白そうな話ね。私も会話に混ぜてもらえるかしら。あれが
Smooth Kabuto. Dude, I wonder what Kabuto's gonna do when he finds out.
気づかずに逃げ遅れるところでした。
That was very convenient timing.
だようだな。とりあえずはバレずに済んだか。しかしオロチマルが出てきたとなると、さてどうする。
Yeah, this is a whole different situation now.
その装束懐かしいわね。サソリ
Sasori.
どうつけてきたのか。
あなたが送り込んでくれたこの子すごく重宝したわ。
I wonder when his
一つ開発するのに
seal or like the ninjutsu of Kabuto's memory changed.
使い終わった実験体もこの子の医療忍術のおかげで何度も使い回すことができたわ。実験体もなかなか不足しててね。
どうすんだってばよ。
隊長の指示があるまでは待機するしかないわ。
おそらく僕一人でオロチマルの相手をするのは無理だ。カブトと協力してオロチマルを止めるにしても、戦い方で僕がサソリでないことはすぐバレてしまう。かといって3人を呼べば
Yeah, this is gonna get messy real quick.
拘束は厄介になる。すぐに3人を呼んでどちらも倒すか、それとも呼ばずにこのまま引くか、そのどちらかだが。
Okay, so he knew.
バレたのか。いや違うな。これはどういうことだ。
精鋭タジャッシュ
Oh shit. Oh, thank God.
これは木刀忍術での代わりにあなたまさか
We're gonna find out Yamato's true identity.
こいつがサソリの本体ですか。
いいえ違うわ。
Damn, now I'm so confused about Kabuto.
鳥の部下だったくせに本当の顔も知らないでいたの。
いつも傀儡の中に隠れてる陰気なやつでしたからね。
どういうことだ。お前は暁のスパイのはず。サソリにずっと術をかけられていたんじゃなかったのか。
そんな術とっくにオロチマル様が解いてくれた。
Okay.
サソリの術にかかったままのふりをして寝返っていたとはな。オロチマルの術に落ちたか。
いや違うな。僕はただオロチマル様のお考えに共感しただけさ。
Okay. See, I really thought like
あんたは誰？
their weird dynamic in like the classic Naruto was because of this you know, the brainwashing or whatever.
この子のことは後で説明してあげるわ。それより後ろの子ネズミ3匹もここへ呼んだらどう？
I would get the fuck out of here at this point.
アイス。
Oh, he's coming out hot.
また君か。
Oh man, give him another freaking
幾度
punch it right in his freaking belly again, man.
キュービの子もいるみたい。
He needs a Rasengan right to the dome.
遊んであげましょうかね。サスケくんとどっちが強くなってるか。
Dude. Dope episode, man. I was on the edge of my seat there the whole time. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about like when it was revealed that it was Kabuto, I was thinking like, okay, hey, this makes more sense that he was operating under the ninjutsu of Sasori to like, I guess, forget why he's there and give him a different kind of mission to be Orochimaru's subordinate. So when it came clear, or like when that came out, I was thinking like of, you know, in the classic Naruto, that one scene when they're infiltrating the Leaf Village and like, you know, Orochimaru's trying to get Kabuto to capture or kill Sasuke. I forgot what it was, but it was after when Sasuke was really hurt from the curse mark and some of the exams and whatnot. And there was like this like hesitancy or this like weird conflicting energy between them, and like Orochimaru was like, you'll have to kill me if you want to stop me, kind of thing. So it's almost like, I don't know, it's really hard to tell where Kabuto stands. This could have explained that kind of weird dynamic they have, but it seems like that's not the case. But nonetheless, it adds a whole nother layer of like complexity to Kabuto and Orochimaru's relationship. Very curious about it, but so exciting getting to see them already. I mean, of course, like they set it up that it was going to be this way, but for some reason, just having them this early in it is just like, dang, that's crazy. Oh man, is he going to lose control off the bat?
サスケを返せ。
Oh no.
返せはないだろう、ナルト君。ずれてるよ、それ。サスケ君は望んで我々の元に来たんだ。引きずりすぎだよ、男のくせに。未練たらしいね。
黙れメガネ。
Four eyes.
冷静になんでも。ナルトの気持ちも知らないくせに。
サスケくんのことが知りたいなら力ずくで私から聞き出してみなさい。できればだけ。
Don't lose your shit, man. Dude, what? Feral. Man, this bridge is gonna be hanging on by a thread by the end of this, I bet. Or not at all.
ナルト、これって
なんだあれは。
そうか。やはり出てきたか。おそらくあのチャクラの形状からして尾はどんどん増えていき、最終的には9本になる。そういうことだの。ジライア様は一体何本。
Dude, this whole part is crazy.
わしは今までに2度死にかけたことがある。1度目はあばら6本と両の腕が骨折、内臓破裂が数箇所。温泉で女風呂を覗こうとして綱でお前に思いっきりそしてもう一度がナルトとの修行中、あいつのキュービチャクラの4本目の尾を見た時だ。怒りが引き金となり、陽子の尾が生え増えていった。
Dude, they're gonna show it? God, it's crazy, man. So cool. Terrifying, but cool. Oh, we got the other Kitol here. Miss Cello. Don't you block the camera. Okay, we're good right now.
陽子の尾が3本目の時まではあいつも意識を保っていたが。
Okay, that's important. Come here, you're gonna get in the way.
4本目でついに見境がなくなり、破壊衝動に支配されていった。まるで小さなキュービの陽子だ。
Jeez.
あるのに、そこまで。
4代目の封印術が弱まりつつあるのではないかということだの。
That's interesting.
4代目の封印術が。
そんなことが。
Well, that's scary.
ナルトはキュービ状態においてチャクラがかたどる陽子の衣に守られているように見えるが、
But it's burning him.
逆に陽子の衣によって体にダメージを受け続けていた。4本目の尾が出た時、陽子の衣をまとったヤスの体は血まみれ。暴れていた。
That explains like how his shadow clones were all like choking the last time it happened.
衣が消えた時、ナルトの傷ついた体は体内のキュービチャクラで回復するが、あんなスピードで負傷と超回復を繰り返していたら確実にナルトの体は蝕まれ寿命を縮めてしまう。
だからこそお前が必要なのだ、ヤマト。
In what way?
初代火影様の細胞を受け継いだお前。
The cells?
今や人中力をコントロールできる可能性があるのはお前だけだ。幸いなことに初代の首飾りはちょうどナルトがかけとるからの。頼んだぞ。
Interesting. So can he like control him? Or the nine tail or something?
ナルト君、人中力としてかなり成長してるね。キュービの力がどんどん強くなってるな。
人中力は美獣と共鳴し、信じられぬ力を使えるのが特徴じゃ。
Yeah, resonating with all that anger and pain. How's Orochimaru doing after that hit? Oh, he's pretty schlumped. He's pretty schlumped. I'm sure he's fine. Just quit acting like a baby. Ooh, never mind. He did take a big hit.
あっちゃってるわね。
Okay.
ナルト君。なるほどね。
The slow walk up, man. Man, if I was Kabuto, I'd be kind of worried about being in that spot between both of the three of them and Naruto in the nine tail or in the one tail form.
それで君が見張り役に選ばれたのね。私の実験も少しは役に立ったじゃない。
Is that how he inherited the cells?
この葉にはもう少し感謝してもらいたいわ。私の可愛い実験体さ。
God, this fucking piece of shit. Orochimaru, you
この
are...
方一体何者です？
He is evil, man. Piece of shit.
昔、私がまだこの葉にいた頃の話よ。すべての忍びの中で唯一木遁忍術を使い、さらに美獣を意のままに
Okay, so he was the only one who could use it.
大火影の力が欲しくてね。
And control tail beasts at will?
ガバネからその中の遺伝子情報を取り出し、遺伝的要素を60体の子供の細胞に組み込む人体実験をしたことがあったのがひどくってね。バタバタ死んでいったわ。
He's like, yeah, it's great. I love that. God.
そろそろ見切りをつけようと思っていた頃に別の実験で足がついて木の葉を出ることになったの。実験施設はそのままにしてね。全員死んだと思ってたけど、まさか生き残りがいたとはね。
What's his real name? Tell me his real name.
そっか。
七郎の術。
初代様だけの秘術、木遁忍術。なんで大和隊長が木遁忍術を。だから初代様だけの木遁を。
そういうことか。
なるほどね。ではかつての研究の成果ともいえるサンプルが今ここで手に入りそうですね。
Feel like that'd be a good body for him to inherit too, potentially, if you really wanted that that power, that ninjutsu.
試しに目の前のナルト君とやらせてみたいわね。
Oh no.
てめえのもんじゃねえ。
Oh god. Dude, that drawing.
俺の前で自分のものみてえにサスケの名を口にする。
Yeah, let's go, dude. Cool. Oh my god. Dude. That power.
あれは
何なのあのチャクラ。
空気が痛い。
They look way too comfortable being around this. He's so feral, dude. Man. They look quite similar. That was sick, man. What a cool like transition to this. Such great build up. The Ninetail makes Orochimaru look like a little freaking ant. Oh, this bridge is donezo. That's only, what, 3 tails? Imagine all 9. Yeah, like, I don't know if all 9 is the equivalent of when the 9-tail was fully out and like not part of a Jinchuriki, but like, imagine how much more powerful and like scary that would be.
肌で感じてわかる。これはこんなおぞましいチャクラ。コントロールできるような質のチャクラじゃない。
これが渦巻きナルトキュービの力か。
God, I want to wipe that smirk off Kabuto's face. Bro. He literally turns into an animal, a beast, a savage animal. Unfortunate that we didn't get to see any of like anything after the fact, but I understand. We'll just have to wait till next time. But the whole transformation and like just seeing the power expand and I don't know, the way it takes on like obviously like a form within Naruto and the tails itself, but like the power, like the chakra all spinning around and like pushing the like breaking the bridge and everything. They do such a good job of like conveying how powerful it all is. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get in the review section here. Definitely one of those episodes where a lot doesn't happen, but a lot didn't need to happen based off of the, well, one, just the small bits of information we got, you know, of, you know, like Yamato's background and Kabuto and, you know, some, intersections with the Akatsuki. You know, the information we did get was super interesting and engaging. But even outside of that, I thought that, you know, the tone of this episode was really good. Obviously, a huge buildup of intensity in multiple parts with, you know, so much secrecy going on and misdirection on both sides. And I think both sides not really expecting this to be the outcome. You know, obviously our group trying to just implicate the spy, and then learning it was Kabuto, which is very interesting. And then from their side, even though Kabuto has been freed of the, I guess, the mind control ninjutsu that Sasori has had by Orochimaru in the past, that kind of turning and being like, okay, yeah, they're aware of Sasori and them supposed to be meeting up as well, and they were going to double cross Sasori here, or try to, I guess, trick him and deal with him, as they said. So that intensity was there, and that was really interesting. And obviously with the buildup of Orochimaru coming into, like, I love the flash him in the trees, so creepy, such a great presence of a villain, man. And same thing for like the Nine Tails coming out. Oof. So cool. I love the buildup of when they're comparing Orochimaru's and Naruto's eyes and the Nine Tail, and they look very similar, very beast-like, right? Like, Orochimaru's obviously looks like a snake, and so does Naruto's in a different way, but not necessarily snake-like, but definitely beast-like. I guess it's supposed to look like a fox's eyes in this scenario, and then eventually they're flashing back and forth so quick that then it just sees the Nine Tails and Orochimaru's facing him. So cool. Love the depiction of that. But yeah, I mean, I think these episodes, they do a lot to build up the stakes of it all, and I think they did a really good job in these 2 episodes with that. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the different information we did get. So I kind of want to talk about Kabuto first, because very interesting that he had some connection with Sasori at some point before Orochimaru even got his hands on him. And we obviously don't know the context of the extent of what Orochimaru knew, but it's just interesting that Kabuto has such a deep, like, integration with a lot of the lore that we've had in the series so far in some way. I don't really remember the whole exposition we got about Kabuto back in OG Naruto, but I remember him being something like, he was, if I remember correctly, like he was kind of a survivor of some battle or something. The Leaf Village took him in, but maybe he was implicated at that time already, or maybe it was sometime after the fact. So I don't know, man. It's very interesting to think about how he, to what extent he's being connected. And of course, we got another flip on us when we learned that he wasn't under the mind control of Sasori throughout this whole time. In fact, Orochimaru had broken that. And it makes me very curious on, like, when that all happened and what the timeline of all of it is. And it's still, once again, kind of hard to tell Kabuto's motivations. In this sense, it definitely seems like he's more aligned with Orochimaru, especially if that's like, if he actually empathizes with his message, then maybe he's just completely loyal to him, kind of like we saw towards the end of OG Naruto, when he was trying to kind of like give up his own body for the reanimation or reincarnation of Orochimaru. So I don't know, man. He's such a complicated character. And and then also we did get some context that it was 5 years since him and Sasori had last seen each other. So I guess if that's when Sasori had put in the ninjutsu technique on him for the memory stuff, then maybe that's when, if that was the case, then yeah, Kabuto probably would have been implicated early on from the Leaf Village. It would have been later on. But yeah, I really hope we kind of get all these different little dots connected at some point. I think it'd be really satisfying to kind of go back to OG Naruto and view Kabuto in a different way. Like, already I'm viewing him in a bit of a different way, but I want to know more because I think there's a lot that's unknown here still. We also get a lot of dialogue about the Nine-Tail Cloak, and we get some repeated information, but also expanding on it, kind of confirming some things like that Naruto, it very much comes out, or it's triggered by his anger, for example, and that's like something that gives him resonation to be able to use the power of the tailed beast, in this case the Nine-Tail. I think anger definitely is what kind of connects them, and he can use it effectively in that way, but it also hurts him. Like, while the cloak looks like it might protect him or give him strength, it's at a cost, and it's like burning his body. And they say that that it would hurt him, not just hurt him, but as he's healing after the fact from the Nine Tails chakra, it would shorten his lifespan. And we're getting this information that potentially the 4th Hokage seal is weakening. That's why he's like losing control more, or maybe it's hurting him a lot more when he's using the cloak, because back in OG Naruto it didn't ever feel like that he was getting hurt by it. So maybe that's how they're explaining this change and how it's taken on this form a bit more, and how there's repercussions to it. Lots of implications to the fourth Hokage seal weakening, if that's really the case, because it seems like they're definitely setting up that at some point the Nine-Tail is going to come back in some form, either get disconnected from Naruto, like overpower him and like take over his being and maybe just be that mini Nine-Tail, or maybe he'll need to be separated from it to preserve Naruto's lifespan. But it definitely seems like the Nine-Tail's probably going to be, I feel like, an antagonist at some point. I don't know, just like it would come out that it would be a plot line at some point. And boy, did they do a good job of showing, that form coming out and the anger within Naruto, especially at the end there. Like just the savagery, the beast-like nature of it. They do a really good job of that. Now, alongside the more information we got about the Nine-Tail, we also get a lot of information about Yamato and the first Hokage's wood ninjutsu technique that I guess we get confirmation that the first Hokage was the only one who could use that ninjutsu technique. And so it's always been, they've hinted at that it's a little strange that Yamato can use it, and like it's kind of surprising a lot of people. But now we're getting information that he inherited some of the cells of the first Hokage through Orochimaru's experiments. Of course, Orochimaru's experiments, man, guy's sadistic, dude. But Orochimaru wanted access to that ninjutsu technique because it must be very sought after, because not only does it seem to have different like flavors of power, like we even see him use it with transformation, just through substitution. Like there's differences between it, and for me it's not super clear what those are yet. It sounds like there's some advantages to it in general, and just the technique seems to be very flexible and dynamic to use. But the most important part is that for some reason you can control a Jinchuriki host, and we get this perspective from Tsunade and Jiraiya, Kakashi, and they kind of point to the fact that Naruto's wearing the first Hokage's necklace, so they're kind of saying that might be a factor in it. But even like from Orochimaru's standpoint, he says something as well about that the first Hokage could control Jinchurikis, their tailed beasts, at will, or control the Jinchuriki, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, like what about this ninjutsu makes that possible? When Tsunade were saying it, I was thinking, okay, maybe there's something to do with that necklace that will give him access to Naruto's like chakra or something, and be able to settle him down. But it sounds like it might be more direct than that, and the necklace might just be an additional factor with it. So I'm super intrigued to find out like what that is. Yamato in general, very, very cool character at this point. I want to know his perspective of how he grew up with this, and if he knew it was from Orochimaru, or like, if this is all news to him. It's probably not news to him. I'm assuming that people have told him why he has this power. But yeah, dude, the lore was real in this one. I'm loving all the lore. One thing I forgot to mention about Kabuto and Sasori too was kind of like, I guess, what the original mission was for Kabuto, and it seemed like Sasori had ordered Kabuto to, I guess, analyze the cells of, I guess, Orochimaru's past hosts that he's had for his reincarnation or reanimation jutsu. So it seems like they're trying to collect data on how he achieves this. Maybe someone else wants to be able to use that technique as well. And then Kabuto even asked for some item in question. So pretty interesting. And you can see even that like Kabuto and Orochimaru later are like very intrigued about being able to get, I guess, some data from Yamato to be able to have, how his cells integrated with the first Hokages. We learned this way back in classic Naruto, that like a lot of jutsu techniques are like stored within the body themselves, like, and it's why protecting your clan's secrets are so important, is because you can kind of like extract and use it in different ways if like you're, I guess, scientifically, or if you know enough about jutsu techniques, you can kind of use people's Kekkai Genkai or other parts against them. I think there's so much that we have to learn with that still, and they keep giving us a lot of examples of it. It's very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and get into the character ratings for MVP. I'm gonna give that to Naruto, specifically, just around him whacking the shit out of Orochimaru. That scene was so dope. I love seeing him like fly through the tree lines, like from like the above perspective, just showing the power of it all. And of course, his face is all torn up after, and you can see his real host face now. And then in general, just like the way they depicted the power of the Nine-Tail, I thought was really well done. For the best moment, I'm gonna give that to Yamato, and just the reveal about the wood style and inheriting it from the cells of the first Hokage. More about like the power of it, and like we said, not really explained why they can control a Jinchuriki or a tailed beast, but that there is that element of it. It's just exciting to hear that, and I'm very curious about it. For the funniest moment, I'm gonna give that to Yamato as well, when he's trying to find the right pitch of Sasori's voice. He starts out so high, and it's like, yeah, that's nothing like Sasori. That was good. And then for the Sacco Award, or the worst character, honestly, like, it'd be easy to give it to like Orochimaru just because he's a piece of shit, but like I like that about him though. Like the Sacco Award is kind of supposed to be like, this character's a pain in the ass, or like, fuck you, like you annoyed me kind of thing. But Orochimaru, like, he is such a good villain. Like, I can't hate on him. So we'll avoid the Sacco Award. I thought every character was good in this in these two sets of episodes. So that's just a sign it was a strong episode. But yeah, I think that'll do it for these episodes. I think the next one probably gonna be a banger. Y'all. But appreciate y'all being here to watch with me. I hope y'all enjoyed this one, and that y'all have a really good rest of your week. And I'll catch you for the next episodes. Peace.